Video 3, creating a study abroad page. In this video, I will go over how to create a page, add new content, and connect your pages. While this video will show a multi-page ePortfolio organization, the skills are transferable for a constant scroll ePortfolio. For a constant scroll, you'll want to go over to the left toolbar here and do Add Section. But besides that, the steps will pretty much be the same. It is just that instead of a new section, I'm going to choose Menus and Pages. And here I can rename the pages I have, and I can add page. Feel free to use any of the page layouts that you think will work for your purposes and your content. I'm going to use a blank page for this example. And then here, I'm going to name my page Study Abroad, and done. Now I'm going to update the navigation. You can see that Study Abroad is now in our top menu here, and that's not where I want it. So instead, I want Study Abroad to be a sub-menu of the Projects tab. All I have to do is click on the page name and drag it where I want. So below Projects and indent it. So now it's a sub-page for Projects. For everything we do to add content on the page, whether it's a blank page or you're adding content to a template, you will need to use the Add Elements button right over here. I'm going to start by adding text. I'm going to stay within my theme choices. So I'm going to go with heading 2. So my study abroad, I'm going to talk about my time during my trip to Kenya, the summer program UF in Kenya. I'm going to follow a traditional layout and move this heading to the top left corner, using my guidelines to help me align it. Now I'm going to flesh out this page by adding text and media. I'm going back to the Add Elements button, and this time I'm going to choose paragraph text. But I want to stay within my themed text, so I'll pick here. I can then adjust the size of the text box and move it where I want, using my pink lines to help guide me. Now I'm going to copy and paste my text that was already in a Word document. I really recommend writing the text you want to use in a word processor like Microsoft Word or Pages, and then adding it to the ePortfolio. All right, now that I have my text inserted, I'm going to make a few adjustments so it's a little easier to read and not just a wall of text. So I'm going to make this a little bigger. I'm also going to add a paragraph break. So, and then I could even continue another paragraph break. And this just makes it a little easier for everything. All right, so now I want to add some media. So I'm going to go back to my Add Elements button. If you plan to use multiple photos, I really recommend looking at the galleries. These are pre-made and they're really easy to fit into your ePortfolio, multiple photos. For me, I'm just going to choose one image for this page. So I'm going to come to Image, and I'm going to go to My Uploads. Now, I don't have any photos here, so I'm going to go Upload Media, upload from my computer. Now, you can edit your photo in the photo studio, including cropping, however you may want. You can save, undo, revert to original. Once you're done editing, make sure the picture you want to add to your page is highlighted in blue, and then click Add to Page. So now I have my photo and text, but I'll need to adjust the layout. Keeping with my traditional layout, I want the photo to be in the top right. Again, I'm using my guidelines to make sure it's aligns with my text, and I want to align with my headline here, my heading. I'm going to break up the text so that you can read it. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm actually going to move this text down, copy this first paragraph. I'm then going to add another text box, same paragraphs type. And now I can delete this. So I'm going to use my guidelines to move this around and make this a little wider. Now, I need a little more space because I want a caption for my photo, and I also need a little more space so that it's not overlapping this heading part here. So I'm going to adjust the page length by hovering over the bottom until I see this purple arrow. And then I'm going to adjust the height. All right, so just kind of continuing to rearrange a little, make sure my guidelines are all hooked up. Make this text box a little smaller to line up with that photo. All right, and now all I need to do is add a caption to my photo. Coming back to add elements, I'm actually going to choose heading 6 as my caption. And I'm going to use this same heading 6 for all captions in my ePortfolio. So that way it stays consistent and has a cohesive layout. So then just going to put UF in Kenya picture. All right, now that I've completed my page, I want to connect it to my projects page. So I'm going to move back to the projects page. Notice there are 3 projects laid out in this template. That's one of the reasons I chose this template, because it aligns with the requirement of 3 global experiences. So I'm just going to first update the text from project 1, study abroad. This paragraph space gives you a great place to write an introduction to your experience and to just give a little information to entice your audience to keep reading. All right, be sure you don't leave the template image here. You'll need to change it. Now you can upload your own image again, or if you want just a stock photo, that's fine. For this is really easy. Let's see what they have for Kenya. Okay. Just gonna look through, see if I like any of these. Right. So this National Reserve Park, I'm going to highlight it, choose image. So now I'm ready to connect. Next thing I'm going to do, come back to my add elements. And we're going to want to add a button. Again, your first choices are going to be theme choices. If you want to use a different button, that's okay, but make sure you have either a content or organizational reason behind choosing a different button. Example, you might want to use icon buttons for documents or home or your email. I'm going to choose this button. And I just have to click on the select. All right, so now I'm going to rearrange it. Kind of want it centered. And then you want to edit the text. So you want your button to be a little more directive. I'm going to have read more. Right. I then decide what I want the button to lead to. I'm going to choose page because this is a multi-page layout, but if I were doing a constant scroll layout, I would choose section or anchor. So instead, I'm going to choose page, choose the page I want it to connect to, which is my study abroad page, and done. And you can see when we preview and click on the button, we are taken immediately to our UF in Kenya page.